Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and today I'm going to be showing you how to build the Sniffer in Minecraft. In case you don't know, the Sniffer is one of the 3 new potential mobs that are going to be added to the game. On the 15th of October 2022, just a few days after this video goes out, there will be a worldwide mob vote where all players can decide which one gets added to the game. The Rascal, the Tough Golem, or my personal favourite, the Sniffer. So to do my part and spread the Sniffer love, today I'm going to be showing you how to build a survival base inside of a giant Sniffer in Minecraft. Super quickly, 2 things to mention before we begin. First of all, there is a materials list down in the description below, so if you're building this in survival, you're going to want to gather all of those supplies up. There is also a separate list if you just want to build the Sniffer and not the inside of the base. The second thing I want to mention is this build is being made before the Sniffer is even potentially added to Minecraft, so I'm purely basing this build off what we've seen so far, which really isn't that much. This is the rough layout of the bottom part of the Sniffer. The orange spaces are where we're going to be building his feet. So we're going to start off by grabbing some polished deepslate and placing them on top of all of the orange blocks. And on top of those polished deepslate blocks, we can place in some regular deepslate blocks. So at this point you should have 6 Sniffer feet laid out like this. The wider sections are 7 blocks apart and the smaller sections are 3 blocks apart. Now you can just decide on where you want the back of the Sniffer to go, and we're going to come around to that side now. It's going to be one of the 7 wide sections, and on the back of these 2 feet we're going to place in 2 mangrove slabs. Then we're going to have 2 mangrove trapdoors, and just actually on the deep slate blocks next to them, we're going to have 2 ladders. This is actually how we get inside the base. And just in between these trapdoors, we'll have 5 more slabs. Then, coming round to the front of the Sniffer, we're going to have 7 slabs all the way across. But with the middle 5 blocks, we're just going to mark them temporarily with any block. It doesn't matter, just place 5 down like that and leave it as it is. We'll get rid of them later. On the 2 sides, we're going to place in 3 slabs just along the edges here on the outside of the block, like this, on both of the sides that is. And then very simply, you're just going to go ahead and fill this whole middle section in with mangrove slabs. Now you can go ahead and grab your stripped mangrove logs, and we're going to place them all on the outside of this shape here, going all the way around. Quick side note, if you don't want to gather and place this many stripped mangrove logs, you can just use regular mangrove planks. It'll look slightly better using the logs, but you can decide whether it's worth it. It's kind of up to you. So go all the way around, of course missing out these 5 blocks where we laid out our temporary blocks, and we're going to bring the logs that we have here up by 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 more for a total of 6, and you want to do that for all of them. Yeah, it's quite a lot of logs, so use planks if you would like. With all of those logs placed down, you can also go ahead and replace the temporary blocks we have here with some more of those logs, but don't bring them up any higher because we're going to be building a head here. I should probably clarify, we're going to be building the Sniffer's head, not building in advance. Building a head, not a head. So we're going to grab some mangrove planks this time, and we're basically going to make a 5x5 ring just in front of these mangrove logs, like that. And we're going to extend that by another block like so. Then we can come to the sides here, and from this top block we're going to go across 1, 2, 3 and down 1. Then on the bottom 2 blocks, we can come out by 2 more. So we should have this 2x2 hole with the exception of this block. So in this 2x2 square, we're going to place in some stairs. So we want 2 at the bottom, regular, and then 2 at the top, upside down. This is actually going to be the Sniffer's eye. So behind it, we can place some black concrete. Super quickly, we can go ahead and do the same thing over here. So come out by 3, down by 1, 4 here, and then all of our stairs just like that with the black concrete behind like so. Then at the top of this section, we'll just add 9 more planks in like that, and at the bottom, we'll add 6 more in. Now we're ready to start on the beak, his mouth. I don't know what to call this part. It's made out of yellow terracotta, so go ahead and grab those blocks, and we're going to come out by 3 on the bottom part of those blocks and then add 3 more in the middle. Then we can do the same 2 more times, going all the way around, and then we're going to go once more around like this, obviously not going quite as far back, and then we can have 2 more at the top here and here, 1 in the middle, and then 2 dark oak stairs here to act as the sniffer's nostrils. It's the best I could do. And then for the sniffer's mouth, once again, best I could do, we're going to be using some dark oak signs, just wrapping all the way around, covering up all of those, try not to type, yellow terracotta blocks like that. Now we're going to go ahead and build the sniffer's ears. So what we want to do to begin with is grab some mangrove trapdoors, and on these 2 mangrove planks on the bottom part of those blocks, we're going to place in 2 of those mangrove trapdoors. Then come underneath and face outwards here, we're going to place in 2 upside down mangrove stairs with 2 sets of trapdoors underneath both of those, and just flap them flat like that. Then on the back of these blocks here, we're going to add in some mangrove trapdoors like that, and then we're going to add in 1, 2, 3, 4 more under each of them, going all the way down, and we just want to fold them all flat like so, and they should be going down to this point right here. And there we go, that is one of the sniffer's droopy ears done. You can go ahead, as I've already finished, copy the other one on the other side. Last but not least, to complete the head here, we just need to flesh out the bottom a little bit. So what we're going to do is grab some mangrove slabs, and we're going to add 6 of them like that, with 1 more in the middle here. 2 trapdoors either side, 1 trapdoor either side here, and 1 more in the middle. And last but not least, just fill in that bottom section with some more yellow terracotta. The next thing we're going to work on is the top of the sniffer. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this is made out of. It could be moss, it could be leaves, it could be something completely different. We won't know until it's potentially added to the game, but I like to imagine that he's completely overgrown, and I think moss is the best block for that. So I've just started off by adding a ring all the way around these outer blocks here, sticking out by 1 on all of the 4 sides, just kind of going over the top of the head here at the front. And then we're going to make this 5 blocks high, so we need to go up by 1, 2, 3, and 4 more all the way around. With that done on all 4 sides, we can now start on the top part, which is super simple. It's just a big rectangle going all the way across like this, not going on top of these blocks here, and just making sure they're 1 block higher. Also, you may want to just place in a couple of temporary torches inside of here just to stop any mobs potentially spawning, because we're going to cover it up and turn it into complete darkness now. Now we're just adding a few more moss blocks in to make the edge seem a lot less rigid and the whole thing just feel much more natural. So we're adding some above and some below. I'm not going to show you every single block because truthfully it doesn't matter how you place these in, but I will show you regardless for all of the 4 sides here, just in case you want to copy this exactly. So we're starting at the front, going round to the right, then the back, then the left hand side, and that's all you need to do. So there we go, everybody. That is how you build a giant sniffer in Minecraft. If that's all you wanted, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed. But if you want to build the survival base inside, follow me around the back. We'll head inside and get started on doing that. The first thing we're going to do inside of here is grab our regular mangrove logs, and we're going to place 2 of them next to our ladders here. And then we're going to leave a gap of 4 next to both of them and go ahead and place another one, and then leave another gap of 4. So you should have 6 logs like that up against the walls. And we want to make these 6 blocks high. They should be at the same height as the rest of the logs. Once you've got those in place, we can then grab our crafting table and stick it front and center right here in line with the mangrove logs. And then we want to just cover it up with some spruce stairs. So we'll have 2 either side like that, and then 2 regular ones just to the side of those stairs, and 5 more up the next level. That way you're going to be able to get into the head, which is where the bedroom will be going, but we'll come back to that later. For now, you can grab some ladders and place 2 here, and also place 5 on these stripped mangrove logs either side. That'll get you up to the next level, which we can actually start working on the floor of, which is also the ceiling of this level. And all we really need to do for this is start with some slabs in between the mangrove logs leave a gap, and basically repeat that pattern all the way across. And once you've got all of those placed down like that, in between them all, we can go ahead and add in some spruce trapdoors. So at this point, the ceiling to the first floor should look like this, and then if we just go up a level, the floor should be looking like this. Of course, you don't want to place a trapdoor covering where we have the ladders, because that is how you get up and down. Now we're just going to work on where the bedroom's going to be going and shutting that off separately. So where we have our black concrete, we just want to place in 2 more underneath both of those, and also 2 more here at the top. Then we're just going to go ahead and cover that completely with spruce trapdoors on the outer side like so. And then we're going to place our spruce door just on this block right here. So that should be slightly back from the trapdoors. We do just quickly want to replace these 6 mangrove blocks with some spruce blocks just to make this part a little bit more seamless. And then what we can do is add in a little bit of lighting. So we need to grab some spruce stairs to begin with and come into the bedroom here. And we just kind of want to cover this up a little bit. So we're going to have 2 stairs either side like that, 1 in the middle here, and then we'll just stick a lantern on that yellow terracotta block. Now going back through to the main room, we're going to have 2 spruce fences here next to both of the ladders with a lantern on top. And then over on this side, just above our ladders, on these blocks right here, we'll have 2 spruce fences, a chain and a lantern hanging down from underneath both of them. So most of this bottom level is being used for storage, as you can see. Lots of chests in each of these sections, they're all completely the same. It's simply 4 barrels on the bottom and then 4 double chests stacked up on either side. So 4 barrels and 8 double chests in total, times by 4. Plenty of storage. Of course, if you want to label these items and what is actually inside of them, just place some item frames on the chest, possibly some signs on the logs, however you see fit. Over on this wall, we're going to be placing in our furnaces. So we're going to have a smoker on the bottom, 2 blast furnaces either side. Then we're just going to make a ring of regular furnaces with a stone cutter in the center. And just to make this look a little bit nicer, we're going to cover it up with some spruce trapdoors. Of course, making sure you crouch whilst you place them so you don't open up the furnace GUI. Just like that. And the final thing we need to do for this room is add in a nice carpet in this middle section here, because that is quite a lot of mangrove wood and I want to kind of split it up a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is 2 blocks away from that crafting table, place in a green carpet and then place 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And then we're going to do the exact same shape over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very simple. Then what we can do is have 2 grey carpets here in both of the corners, 2 here, and 1 in the center. Now we can just go through to the sniffer's head, aka the bedroom, and the first thing we're going to place down is just a temporary block actually right here, and then we're going to place a loom just like that. So try and inch up as close as you can to that block and place it into the temporary block just so we can have the loom going backwards. That way it doesn't really look like a loom, kind of like a set of drawers instead. But our bed is going to go next to it. Of course, any color is fine. Ender chest at the foot of the bed, flower pot on top of the loom, and then we just want to add a painting. Now we might actually have to temporarily get rid of the lantern there just so we can keep this painting as the small one, and then we can stick our lantern back down, and that is the cozy little bedroom all done. So now we can start work on this top level here, and the first thing we're going to be doing is placing down some brown mushroom blocks all across the floor here. But we're not going to be using this texture. Nope, we're actually going to be using this texture, which is attained by doing what I've just done there by placing brown mushroom blocks on top of brown mushroom blocks. If you cover up that face of it, you get this texture instead. Now that can be a bit of a pain to do, kind of time consuming, and also you need silk touch to get this block. So if you want to use something else, here are some perfectly good alternatives along my hotbar. But if you want to use brown mushroom blocks, all you need to do is just place them all along the floor here, 2 blocks high. Just make sure when you're actually placing them, mark where you have your ladder. So let's say we got 2 blocks high, just place another block on top of where the ladder is so you can come back and break them later. But for now, just place them all along the floor here on 1 and the second level too. So once you've got that done, we can go ahead and break where we have our ladder placement. So just go 2 blocks down, and yes, that will remove the edge of the mushroom block. That's fine, that's what we want, because we're then going to go around and remove this top layer of brown mushroom block blocks. Of course, do this with an axe, it'll be way faster than punching it, but it should reveal all of the floor to look like this, which I think is just super duper cool and not that many people know about it. Once you got the floor in place, we can now get started on the walls and more specifically the ceiling. But the first thing we need to do is place in our pillars, which are actually going in the same place as our regular mangrove logs. So one of them's here, just beside both of the ladders, and then each of them are 4 blocks apart, just like we did with the downstairs level. So just do exactly the same thing with these barrels. And on top of these barrels, we very simply want to have 3 dark oak logs just like this on both of the sides. And once we've got that done, we can then get started on the ceiling. So we're going to go ahead and grab some dark oak slabs. And the first thing we're going to do is just add them in a big ring all the way around, connecting to all of the dark oak logs, just like this. So totally slabs going all the way around. And then basically what we want to do is switch from slabs to trapdoors in this spiral inward circle fashion. So once we've gone all the way around with the trapdoors, we'll then switch to slabs, then to trapdoors, and so on and so forth until we reach the center. So you should end up with something like this. Now we can go about adding in all of the walls. So on this side here where we have our ladders, we're just going to go ahead and fill this entire wall up with stripped oak logs, all facing upwards. Make sure you don't have any pointing forward or to the side. You want them all to be going in the same direction, just like that. And you can also copy it around to this side too. Now we just need to grab a water bucket, and here's where it gets a little bit messy, because basically what we want to do behind each of these barrels here, and don't worry, you're not going to flood the place, the ladder will stop the flooding, it's just going to get a little bit wet for a second, but behind all of the barrels we want to place in a water source. This is going to hydrate the crops and allow you to plant some sugarcane too, so it is needed for this exact survival base that we're building up. If you don't want to have crops, obviously don't do this, because you're going to have water there for no reason. So what we want to do on the side that is nearest the ladder here is we're just going to add in 4 dirt like that on both of the side in between the barrels. Over on this side here, all we want to do is add in some stripped oak logs just back from the barrels, just like we did over this side. That should stop the water, and all we can do on these sections, just complete the oak logs, covering them up completely as we've done on the longer side. As for where we have the dirt, just basically the exact same thing, except not going all the way down to the floor. You just want to leave that block as it is, which is water. As you can see, these are what we're going to be planting the sugarcane on, so it needs to have access to a water source right next to the block, hence why we've just done all of that. You can also go ahead and place some dirt blocks here. On those 8 blocks is where we're going to be planting some crops. They will be hydrated from the water behind it too. You can also go ahead and add 2 more ladders from your ladders that we have placed down here. Just going to make climbing a little bit easier. And from these middle barrels, we're just going to have a spruce fence next to it with a lantern on top of both of them. Now what we can do is cover all of these dirt blocks up with some spruce trapdoors, because of course it is super ugly just having dirt there. We want to try and cover it up as best as we can. So place all of those trapdoors down, and then on the blocks that are nearest the ladder, we're going to go ahead and place sugarcane on top of those. It will eventually grow in time. And on top of the other ones, we just want to till this soil, it'll hydrate, and you can plant whatever seed you want to on top of said soil. Mine is growing super quickly, by the way. I have my tick speed turned up to a super high number. Yours will not grow quite this fast. Over on this wall here where we have our ladders, we're going to have a cartography table and a smithing table 1 block away from each of the ladders like that. Then we're going to have a spruce trapdoor here, here, and here, with a brewing stand on top of all of them. And then we also want to go ahead and place 1, 2, 3, 4 more just on the top of these blocks with some more brewing stands on top of them. Super quick, we just need to make a slight adjustment to this wall here. So just break this brewing stand and break these 2 blocks in the wall here, as well as these 3 along the bottom. So behind the 2 tables and this trapdoor. We want to stick an oak stair facing backwards, so it looks like this from the other side. And then all we're going to do is just place 2 water sources either side, and you'll be able to pick up an infinite water source from this stair here. So if we just place the brewing stand back, get ourselves a bucket, as you can see, I can pick up water for as long as I want, which is super helpful to have on hand when brewing. The final thing we need to do is build our enchanting setup on this wall over here. So we're going to start by placing 10 bookshelves against the wall like that, and having 3 coming forward from either side for a total of 16, which is enough to give you 30 levels. We can have an ender chest in the center here with 2 double chests either side, an anvil on one side and a grindstone on the other. And all we need to do now, just to break up this floor a little bit, cover up some of our beautiful mushroom blocks, is place in another carpet in the same pattern as what we have down here, just using some different carpets this time. So starting on this block, we'll place a cyan carpet and go 1, 2 and 3, and then do the same over there. And then we just want to fill in the rest of the blocks here with some grey carpet. And just like that, we are all done. So there we go, everybody. That is going to do it for today's tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and of course do not forget to cast your vote on the 15th of October 2022 to decide which mob is going to be added into Minecraft. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the Sniffer wins, and if you're watching this video after that date, welcome from the future, and fingers crossed this actually looks like the Sniffer, if it did in fact win. If it looks totally different, I'm sorry, I tried my best, I really did. But thank you everybody so much for watching. This has been a really fun build. I hope you've enjoyed yourself too, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.